Welcome, guys and girls, ladies and gents, and people of all worlds. It's your boy Kojay here, continuing Kojay's Corner. After a long time, this podcast is never going away. There was just a big gap of busyness and craziness, and if you see my other videos and other content in my other podcast, Sourcewall, with my boy 44, we've been documenting and going over our opinions and thoughts and reactions to the Snyder Cut movement, and it has been announced and it is coming out. And I'm just saying that because my previous episodes of Kojay's Corner was before it was announced to be coming out at all. So I'm very happy about that, and the fight isn't over. We still got to fight for artistic integrity. We still got to support AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We got to do what we can to spread suicide awareness, mental health, and maybe one day we can hashtag stop suicide. It starts with ourselves and each other. And I think one of the things of doing podcasts and voicing up not just our opinions on what we like, but we could share those stories of each other that could lift each other up and inspire everyone just to realize they're not alone, or do something with what's going on in their life, or find some answers, because we're all trying to be good and live the good life. And I'm very excited about today's episode. I got to interview and to share with you the story of one of my good friends through social media, through PlayStation gameplay. This is Ari. She's really amazing. I'm going to put all the links in the description below of how to find her, how to support her. But today's episode, you will get to know her. She's truly a gem of a human being, and I love her game streams and her Twitch channel and her positive energy she puts on Instagram. And she's truly a warrior. And without further ado, I'm going to stop talking and we'll get into the interview. So, thank you for listening to Kojay's Corner and enjoy. Ari, welcome to Kojay's Corner. Thank you so much for being on my podcast and being the guest and star of this episode where I get to talk about you. How do you feel today?
I'm doing good today. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Real quick, can you tell my audience who you are? First off, let me introduce. First, I forgot how I discovered you. I don't know if it's oh, sorry, that's my little niece outside the door. This is uncut. This is uncensored. So, I forgot how I found you. It is either through Twitch or PlayStation. You know how PlayStation has the game streams? I was watching your game stream and I couldn't stop but kept watching you, and I followed you on Instagram. You're just such a delight. So you're a gamer, right?
I am a gamer, yeah. I originally started on Twitch as a gamer, but in the last month I switched over to streaming art. So.
But it's on Twitch, right?
Yeah, it's still on Twitch.
Cool. Have you always been a gamer your whole life?
Yeah, I've taken like some breaks and stuff, trying to do the you should grow out of it thing. But no. Always go back.
No, you don't grow out of it. What was your first console and games that you played?
Oh my goodness. My first console was an Xbox. My older brother had a Nintendo and a Nintendo. Oh no, Nintendo 64? I think it was a Nintendo 64. My older brother had the original Nintendo and then Super Nintendo.
Oh.
And then, mine was the 64 and the Xbox.
Nice. Oh, beautiful console, the 64. What was your favorite games to play? What drew you in?
Jet Force Gemini, which a lot of people don't know what that is, and I'm showing my age.
Oh, shoot. I can trump you big time. My first console was the Atari in the 80s.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
I got you beat there, one, so it's all good. But yeah. When did your love for video games kick in? Was it just habit since the Xbox and the N64, or was it a certain game? How did this become part of your life?
It just became something that I was doing a lot of like after school instead of doing homework. I
Uh-oh.
would just play games. Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
any particular ones that you just loved and still play today?
Mario games. I ended up getting a Wii and then a Wii U, and I've got like a lot of the Mario and Yoshi games. One of my favorites on N64 was actually Yoshi's Story.
Ooh, that's a nice one actually.
Yeah, and they never like remade that, at least to my knowledge. If they did, that would be awesome. But that was one I really liked.
Cool. And then as you grow up, you're still a gamer. Like that's
Yeah.
commitment, because you're not kidding anymore. What are
Yeah,
some of your
and sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
go on. All right. No, it's your show. You go on.
No, no, it's okay. I'm really
Okay.
bad at social cues.
No, no,
So,
it's cool. I'm horrible too. This is how I get better. Okay, so what are some of the games that you really loved of all time?
of all time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Resident Evil, I think, is probably some of my top because I always play those on every console.
So like the franchise or any particular
Yeah,
Resident
the
Evil game?
franchise.
Nice.
Very much like the franchise, yeah.
What about it draws you to it?
I guess that it's like zombies that are like really. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay, I should have asked that earlier.
I
Yeah,
know.
the zombies are pretty like fucked up. They're not like they are necessarily in other ones. They like mutate into these weird things and then they like just keep mutating. Like even after you like try to kill a boss, it like mutates more or something like later in the game.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, that's scary because it's like you don't know what's going to happen with this mutation. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think the unknown is very scary, especially when, ooh, yeah. So how do you feel about the difference between classic Resident Evil, where it's very like RC car controller, where it's you press left to turn, and then you kind of
hmm
have this robotic movement, to now the kind of first-person shooter, kind of platformy kind of style, where it's more fluid. Do you
I
do you
like
mind the
I like it.
transition or no?
I don't mind it. I think some people are pretty like stuck with the whole like I like the original, and then other people are like I never played the original, so I only like remakes.
Oh, I
But
see.
if you play both though, like and not think about the game before, like don't think about what you played before. Like that's what I try to do. Then it's like its whole new game to me. It's like it's
Mm.
completely different that way. And then you get a different perspective on it, and you can appreciate it for the art that it is.
Yeah, I feel that because it's such a big world, and even the overall storyline is pretty beautiful and fascinating in a dark way.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just
That's why I like it.
ooh. So you're into like a dark Alice in Wonderland type of vibe.
Yeah, I actually never played any of those Alice in Wonderland games.
Oh, I was just
They were
comparing
like,
Resident Evil to Alice in Wonderland because that's what it feels like. But yeah, that's true. They have the Alice games.
yeah, I never got to play those. I didn't have those PlayStations.
Oh,
So,
dang. I think they have it available for PlayStation 3. They have this set where
oh,
they have Alice 2, and it comes with a digital download for Alice 1, I think, because that's how I played it, I think. I have to go
well,
back
that's
and look at
cool.
my thing. I just moved, everything's all packed. But, uh, dude, that's awesome. Any other games you like?
Oh, there's so many. I play a lot
Yeah.
of horror games for the most part. That was what I was mostly streaming. I think my favorite VR game actually is Until Dawn's Rush of Blood. It is you're like in a roller coaster car the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
it's
whole
a
time.
shooter. Yeah, the whole time,
What, like
and
Buzz
it's a
Lightyear,
shooter.
but like horrible?
I really enjoyed it actually. Like
No, I mean
it's a
like
little.
horrible situations. Like, oh my God, monsters.
Oh, yeah, like you go through different areas and you have to like shoot targets or whatever, and then things jump out at you and you have to shoot them, or they try to grab you, or if they get too close to the cart, then you die. But it's based off of the inside of what was that guy's name? There's another game called Until Dawn, because this is
Yeah,
like
I like that one.
inside. Is it Josh? I think it's supposed to be like inside of his head
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So at least that's my understanding of it, and it's just like this really messed up. thing. And I think that in itself, that storyline is really, really interesting just because it's like you're, I wouldn't say it's like a very clear storyline, but it's fun. It's one I
Wow.
wanted to try to platinum, but spending too much time in VR is bad for my eyeballs, so.
Yeah, I don't know. VR is a little trippy for me. It's like you can't escape the screen because you want to look away, or
Yeah.
I do one sometimes. And I don't know. I snack a lot while I'm gaming, so it's just I don't know how to do that with VR when I tried it.
But yeah, you got the controllers in both hands. You got the moves, right? So it doesn't really work.
Oh man. Uh, any other games that are really dear to your
Oh,
heart?
yeah, Alien Isolation is actually like my top favorite game. I've
Ooh.
platinumed it on PlayStation and I 100%ed it on Xbox and I just bought it for PC.
Oh dang. Hey,
Yeah,
no shame, sister, because I'm still playing Skyrim to this day for the third time, and I'm gonna platinum it and complete everything.
that's
But
awesome.
I'm doing it in the most dorky way too, because I'm like, but this character would not do that. So I make a whole different character as a villain to actually do the messed up stuff. So I kind of stay in character with who they are. So yeah, it's crazy. But you're playing the game on three different platforms. That's awesome.
Yeah, I guess so. Super nerd.
Hey, no, shoot. I did that with one of my favorite games is Beyond Good and Evil, and I did that on GameCube. That's my favorite console for that game, and I got on PlayStation, and I'm playing it that way too. So no
Awesome.
shame, no shame, no shame. You just beat me because you did three. You went to the holy PC.
Yeah, well, I figured like once I completed it on Xbox, I was like, oh, it's over. I did all the things, and then I got a PlayStation 4, and I was like, oh, I can do it again. So
With a
I
different
did it
controller.
again. Exactly.
Uh,
Uh,
see, that stuff makes me really happy. I don't know. I think you could understand. It's like, oh, I could play again for the first time, but not. But yes. Yeah.
yeah, because like I think PC is going to be a little different though, because I haven't done a lot of like PC gaming since like I don't know, later 90s, early 2000.
Hey, I'm with you there too. I'm older than you, but that's the last time I was heavily into PC gaming, really. And when you do PC gamings, do you get the console controller with it, or do you use mouse and keyboard?
I actually did not know you could get a controller for
Oh well,
it.
well, well. Funny thing, you can have a controller. It's cool.
That's great. I might actually do that then. That would
You
make
might
it so
want
much easier.
you might want to look it up. There's a way that you could rig your PlayStation controllers to work for your PC as well. So you might save
Oh,
money on that.
that
So
that would be dope.
yeah, I hope you look up into stuff. We'll send links or something later. But yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So it sounds like you're really driven by art, atmosphere, and story, game
I
wise.
am, yeah, very much so.
That's really cool. And horror games, they really and like horror movies, the horror experience, even the novels, they really draw you in. There's a lot of emotional world building going on that's really unique that horror genre in general, whatever medium, does really well, I think. And it just happens to be scary and terrifying, but there's a little weird sense of beauty to it, to the art side.
There really is actually.
Now you are an artist yourself. Have you always been an artist?
Oh yeah. Yeah, my mom has told me I don't have a lot of memories from when I was a kid. So, like my childhood is not there.
Why is that?
Um Trauma.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, snap.
Oh, you don't need to be sorry. It's something I don't really know exactly what happened. Like I've been in therapy since I was like 16, and it's
Yeah?
not something I'm ashamed of. I'm actually like really proud of myself for going to therapy and
No, no, no,
like
that's good. Keep going.
learning
Sorry.
stuff. Yeah, to like help myself so that I can like figure things out. But I also am not like 100% a believer in like delving deep into the past to like uncover stuff that my memory is completely blocked out.
Hmm.
Because I kind of think that if I do that, that might not be good for me. So I just kind of like leave it where it is. And if something comes up, obviously I'm going to deal with it. But if it's not, I think there's a reason for that for me.
No, that
So,
makes sense. That makes sense. So, uh, I understand because when I was like, frick, what was it? I think I was like 10 or 11. Was right?
hmm
No, I think it was like 10. No, 10 or 9. There we go. I actually saw therapy because I had anger issues. Because when my father
hmm
died, he actually drank himself to death, and it was after my parents split, and then there was a lot of drama and stuff, and there was domestic violence, whatever. It was a hard time, but still, losing your father, good man or bad man, it screwed me up. So I saw therapy, I sought help, and all that stuff, and it really, really helped because luckily, who I was seeing focused on what I could do for myself as a healing process, and she found it was art, and then she just encouraged that and told my folks, and then they gave up on encouraging that after a while, but because there's no money in it. So, but that's a long story. But either way, it's a really good healing process, and I think seeing any mental or psychiatric or spiritual help is looked down upon in a weird way, and I kind of want to break that stigma.
that's actually what I'm aiming to do. Is this therapy has helped me so much, and I'm very sorry about your loss.
Oh, thank you. No, it's okay. It's a long time ago, but yeah, I appreciate that. Um, so pretty much you
I,
growing up, your life started only at 16, as far as you could remember. Is that what you're saying?
Y- Yeah, I don't really remember like a lot of things. Like I'll get like a flash of something every now and then. I'll be like, "Oh, I remember this from I don't know what age I was, but it was at this house or whatever." The first house we lived in, I have no memories at all. And I lived there until I was in grade 3.
Have you seen pictures or talked to people who know about stuff when you were there before you were 16?
Um, yeah. I think like maybe I don't know how old I was in grade 3. Is that like 7 or 8, 9? I remember moving into the new house, but I don't remember anything from that old one. Uh, I've seen pictures and stuff, but it doesn't jog anything.
It just looks like someone else that you don't know. Is it something like that?
Yeah, no, not really. Like it looks like me, but I don't remember being there. I don't remember having my photo taken. I don't remember smiling in the picture, or I don't remember being in that moment. It's like it's not all there. It's blank.
Wow.
So it's weird, but it is what it is. I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But in that time frame, like when I was 5, my mom said that I used to carry around a sketchbook and a pencil with me like everywhere, and I would always be drawing something, and I've always drawn ever since. So
Wow, so it's like your art side never left you. In a way, it's like you physically, spiritually never forgot it.
yeah, yeah,
That's
that's always been there.
that's actually very powerful in my opinion. That's dope.
I was gonna say, I also have alcoholics and addicts in my life, so
Oh,
I
really?
understand. Yeah, I think I
Ah,
talked about. Actually, I don't think I ended up posting the addiction podcast that my boyfriend and I did because we
hmm.
talked about some of the addicts in my life, and I have a lot of addicts, and my ex-husband was an addict. So,
Oh, dang. Well, let's go
yeah,
back
so.
back to 16. Let's go back to 16 and
Okay,
catch up because
yeah,
I'm like,
that's
whoa,
fine.
whoa! I call these commercial trailers. Where do we begin? So, so you're 16. Where'd you grow up when you're 16?
I grew up in a city in Alberta, which is in Canada. It's called Calgary, and I lived there for quite some time. I ended up moving out to BC in 2005, I think.
Oh, cool. Where's
And
BC?
yeah, BC is next to Alberta, so there's different provinces in Canada.
Okay.
And I moved out to the island, Vancouver Island is what it's called, and I lived there for 12 years.
Oh, wow. Do you like it?
Yeah. I liked it there a lot. Yeah, I actually ended up moving after I left my ex-husband.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, uh, where'd you go to school and did you study art in school or was this just a hobby you kept up?
It was mostly like Yeah, just like in school and stuff. It was something I wanted to go to university for it, and the university I wanted to go to was in the same city, and I ended up not doing that. I ended up chasing a boy. That's my ex-husband.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. Well, I guess he wasn't a boy. He was much older than me, but anyways.
Okay. C'est la vie. So,
Yeah.
um, do you
I ended
regret?
up, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, no, you go. You ended up what?
I ended up going to university later. Like I'm in university now as an adult.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah. So I'm getting
Nice.
my Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Hey, congratulations. That's awesome. I love it.
Thanks.
Now, it sounds like you've already had some uh, deep relationships. Do you regret any of them? Or do
I don't
you.
remember. Mm. Go ahead.
Oh, no, no. Oh, no. Well, obviously, uh, I'm pretty much it's like, it sounds like you've come through a lot with people around you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I have. I don't regret anything. It's helped me like understand stuff. It's helped me understand other people, and
Mm-hmm.
it's made me extremely open-minded. Because when other people generally treat people shitty, it's usually because of how they view themselves and how much they hate or loathe themselves, and
Mm.
thus they're projecting it on other people. And they're generally really hurting when they're doing that. And I'm not excusing their behavior by any
Right,
means
right, right.
because there is no excuse for that, you know? But
Yeah.
it's just trying to like understand where they're coming from. And I have told them before. Like I've had people say stuff to me and I'm like, you're projecting your issues on me. And I think you need to deal with that. And then it usually ensues with them arguing with me or something. And it's like, I'm not going to do this. This is toxic. I don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just letting you know, check yourself, you know? And I would appreciate the same. Like if I'm being a dick, tell me so I can reevaluate and change it. Because
Mm.
that's how we get better instead of getting bitter. So
No,
and
no, that
angry
makes
and
sense. That
stuff.
makes sense.
So
I
I
was.
don't think I don't regret. I don't regret having any of them in my life. I wouldn't wish being treated shitty on anybody, but I don't think I'd be who I was if I didn't just observe people for as long as I did, and now I
Mm.
say stuff. Whereas before I wouldn't say anything.
Mm. See, this part fascinates me because, in my experience, I used to blame myself. I don't know when that started, but when I'd have issues with, friends or a girlfriend, once upon a
Mm-hmm.
time I used to blame myself as being the problem, and then I would just believe everything they said, even if it's right or wrong or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look back at uh, a lot of decisions I've made, good or bad, just to try and see. It's like, okay, um, what can I learn from this? But at the time, I was just too addicted to just trying to like, don't leave, or it's I don't know, whatever. Like I used to make excuses for people to treat me bad, you know, and I used to put like my feelings secondary. So that was always something I think bad relationships, coming out of bad relationships helped me learn, or I hoped I learned. It's just like sometimes I wonder if
Mm-hmm.
like is this something that we should have avoided the whole time, or is it something we had to learn because we failed to learn at the same time, or is it just us with trying to figure ourselves out with other people that don't blend well with us until we figure out too late? I don't know. I always wonder about that.
I definitely was putting people above myself. I was a people pleaser. I started some rare disease groups and stuff like that, and I had a lot of people messaging me and contacting me to like talk, and I was trying to talk to everybody,
Mhm.
and I overwhelmed myself to the point where I can't. I completely step back from everything
Oh wow.
because I was just like I was trying to be there for every single person, and I wasn't being there for myself.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So it put me in a bad spot. And then when I was going through my divorce, I was like I needed people and I felt so alone.
Dang. That sounds
because
hard.
like, well, I didn't want to reach out to people, and then at the same time when I did, it wasn't like matched, and I had people tell me I was being selfish, and I was like, I'm trying to like pick my life up here. Like I left my ex-husband around Christmas, stressful time of the year, and I moved. Stressful.
Whoa. During the holidays.
Around, yeah, right before Christmas. It was the 23rd that I moved
Wow.
of December. And then I had like people tell me after 2 weeks that that should be enough time for me to get over it. And I was like, I was with him for 12 years. Shut the fuck up. Like, give me give me some space, man. Like, I said I needed space. If I'm not messaging you every day, I need space. Like, divorce is fucky. Like, it's really screwed up. Like, I left that relationship with my clothes and like my cosplay stuff, like, and my anime and my games and my consoles, and that's it.
Priorities. No, this is
I
serious
had
stuff.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like I had nothing. Like, so having to like rebuild from that, like, and rebuy all of that shit, and around the holidays, like,
Wow.
it's just, and then you have to pay for divorce and go to
Yeah.
court and all of that stuff. And if people haven't been through it, they don't necessarily understand all of that. Like, a breakup sucks already, but when you have assets on top of it and stuff, it's just like, yeah, it's like it's not fun, and a lot of people get bitter because of divorce. Like, I don't talk to my ex-husband. We haven't talked in like almost 3 years, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Well, maybe with the law growing apart, you just need to be your own people far away, you know?
yeah, it's definitely for the best. Like,
For the
it
health of
was
each
for,
other, right?
yeah, yeah. My health is way better in general here, like where I am now, because I have doctors that I didn't have when I was living there. And
Mm.
if my blood pressure would have stayed what it was and not been treated, I would have had more strokes. So, like,
Dang.
I'm really, really lucky, and I'm really grateful to be where I am because of the doctors that I have now.
Amen. When you see him, tell him Kojay thanks him because you're an amazing person, and I'm so glad you're my friend. You're just so cool. Ah,
Well, thank you. That's
this
very
journey
sweet.
that brought you here is like you're like a hero, a warrior who survived all this stuff, and you're still fighting stuff because you're diagnosed with multiple. Uh, I don't know where to begin. What is it you have that you're fighting?
Well, everything kind of started when I was born, technically, because one of them I was born with, which is called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder.
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in short, it's called EDS,
Mm-hmm.
and it causes me to have stretchy skin, and I dislocate my joints. But collagen is defective in people that have EDS, so basically, like, collagen's throughout your entire body. It's not just your skin and joints. It's like
Oh
in your
wow.
organs, it's in your eyes, it's in your brain, like it's everywhere. So
Dang.
actually, I don't know if it's in your brain. I'll have to check that. But I
Okay.
know it's like it's pretty much everywhere. Like, it's a very necessary. Oh my goodness, necessary thing. Words. Oh my goodness. I also get tongue tied a lot, so sometimes I'll
No,
try to
it's
say a
cool.
word and the wrong one comes out. So
We're probably having this is probably the worst two people to talk because I fumble my words all the time. But you know what? We're gonna accept it. We're gonna fumble. We're gonna jumble. We're gonna roll with it, and we're gonna find it.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like playing with a puzzle piece and Legos at once. So we'll be
Yeah.
good. But keep going. You're doing great.
So the EDS is something that I didn't know I had. So I've basically been in pain since I was born. Like, I've had pain my entire life.
And the pain comes from the dislocation and all the stretchiness of the tissue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's overly stretchy. So like I know I'm not a doctor or anything, but it's kind of like using a rubber band. Like if you just keep stretching and stretching a rubber band, eventually it breaks. The thing with EDS is the more you dislocate, the worse all of that connective tissue around. So your ligaments, your tendons, your muscle, your nerves, everything that's around there, it doesn't heal. Like it never fully reattaches itself. It never fully heals because EDS people are too stretchy.
Wow.
So I've got like micro tears, and I've torn muscle in my neck, and I wasn't even moving. Like I was sitting watching the new Star Wars movie when it came out. Well, I guess it was new like 3 or 4 years ago, whatever.
Oh,
that
Force
that
Awakens.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. And it was like I think 15 minutes into that, and my neck hurt. Like it literally felt like pop, 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 rip, rip, rip. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And I went to the ER, and they're like, you tore muscles in your neck. How did you do that? It's like, I didn't even move.
Wow.
Like I was just sitting. So it's just like, I don't even have to do anything. I can still have a problem. I've dislocated my knee by pulling a sheet over it and pulling my kneecap right off. So
Dang.
yeah, my joints are really loose.
So what's the treatment and how do you take care of that? Or how did they do that? Help you with that?
There isn't like a specific treatment. There is stuff called prolotherapy where they like inject you with stuff, but I can't necessarily do that. There's one that they say that you can they take your blood out or whatever, or your plasma, and they spin it and then they inject it back into your joint. I could possibly do that, but it's really expensive, and I can't afford it. And I also have another rare disease called mast cell activation syndrome.
Mast cell activation syndrome.
Yes. And because of that one, I can go into anaphylaxis at any point from anything.
Wow. And these are all stuff that you were born with.
The EDS I was born with, yes. The mast cell activation, they're not sure. It's either a familial, which means family disease, or it's caused by the EDS, because there's a doctor that came up with this theory called the Driscoll theory, and she wrote a book called the Driscoll theory.
Nice.
And her last name is Driscoll.
Oh, gotta put a name on it.
Yeah. So it talks about how Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, mast cell activation, and postural orthostatic tachycardia are a cluster of diseases. So sometimes someone can have EDS and just have EDS, and then other times they get the cluster, so they get all three.
Oh, wow.
So I have all three.
And you've been living with this ever since you've had it, huh?
Yeah, EDS my entire life. The mast cell activation didn't show up so much. I didn't think it was showing up until after I had surgery, but my mom said I used to get huge welts all over my body whenever we would use Tide laundry detergent. Like, they were huge. They looked like, I can't even describe them because it was just like big areas of swollen skin where it was like a hive that was like the size of my fist. And she's like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know, it's so itchy. And she's like, it looks like a hive, but we had no idea. And that was happening when I was a kid. So, but that's something that I didn't think about. And then after I had my cancer surgery, it got worse.
All right, now you got cancer on top of everything. When did you have cancer? Oh, man.
2018.
Oh, Ari.
I was diagnosed with, it's a really long one, non-medullary familial papillary thyroid carcinoma. It's like basically like a family, so it's genetic family, familial is family. Non-medullary, I don't remember exactly what that means. I did take medical terminology so I could understand what doctors are saying to me, because I'm like, big words, and now I'm like, I get it. So definitely helps. But it was a thyroid cancer, which I was told by people in my life that it was the good cancer. And I was like, oh, well, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, it
There's a
has a
good
high
cancer?
cure rate. Yeah, a high cure rate.
Oh, I
So
see. Yeah, yeah. I heard that.
I was
Oh.
like, okay. So I go in, I see one doctor, and he tells me I have cancer, and I laugh at him because I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I do. That's great. I'm like, of course, life is awesome. So he sends me to a surgeon. The surgeon does my first biopsy that I ever had without freezing. And that'll be like a long-standing thing for me, is having stuff done without freezing, including dental work.
Huh.
So, yeah. I can't even go to the dentist, man. I have to go to the hospital for dental work. So,
Dang. That's kind of
but
fancy
anyway,
if you think about it. Because they cater at the
it
hospital.
is. Oh,
Well, probably not the
it's not that
greatest, but
great.
yeah, okay. Never mind. I take it back. My bad, my bad. I'm just thinking here, free food, and I'm gonna eat a Pop-Tart later. All right.
No. So, oh man, see, that's my brain gets all jumbled and then I jump from thing to thing. That's the problem.
No, they diagnose you with cancer.
Oh yes. So I saw the surgeon
Hmm.
and he did the biopsy. He called me the next day on the phone and he's like, "Yeah, you have cancer. We need to get you in." But when he biopsied where my thyroid is, I didn't realize that this mass I had in the left side of my neck was a tumor because he didn't biopsy that. He biopsied like in between my collarbone, kind of. There's like that
Oh.
little dip there in your throat, and that's where he put the needle in. So I was like, wait, what's the thing on the side of my neck? And that was when I was like, well, I guess that's a tumor. And
So
they
you
told
got
me it was
cancer
going to be
and the
like,
tumor?
yeah. The thing is the cancer itself, it metastasized. So it wasn't just
Oh.
inside of my thyroid, it went into my lymph nodes and my muscle.
Okay, okay, I see now.
So they did all these tests to see the spread of it, and they said, oh, maybe a 2 hour, maybe 2.5 hour surgery, but, not that long. And I was like, okay. So I go in and I get the surgery done, and I come to not being able to breathe, so they have to like put a tube so I can breathe. And then I found out that it was a 6.5 hour surgery
Whoa.
because the spread was so bad. They took out muscle, they took out my lymph nodes, they took out my thyroid, they damaged my parathyroid. And yeah, the recovery sucked. I had radiation. Radiation is called ablation, so you basically ingest radiation.
That does not sound right.
Oh,
Wow.
it's messed up. They put you in a room, and it was the most isolating thing for me because they put you in a room. You're not allowed to take your cell phone in. No tech, no nothing. Everything has to stay outside the room, or it becomes radioactive, and then you can't have it back for months because the radioactive isotopes will stay in the tech. So,
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah. So anything that goes into that room stays in that room, and if you don't eat the food, you have to like chop it up and throw it down the toilet.
Wow.
So they came in and they had a lead container that was like the lead container was super thick. And they open it and they're in like a hazmat suit and you're sitting there in a hospital gown and they're like, okay, now take the pills. And it's like, this is fucked up. like you're basically telling me to take poison.
This
So I
sounds like,
took it.
sorry, this sounds exactly like the Resident Evil games we play. Like little scenes in that.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it's like crazy. They're not far off. Oh my
No,
lord.
they're not.
Oh, okay, go on.
So yeah, so I took it and I got violently ill. Wasn't allowed to be around people at all. If they came into my room, they were only allowed to see me for 15 minutes a day. No hugs, nothing. They had to be at least a meter or two away from me because I was that radioactive.
Wow.
And then after I got out of the hospital, I had to go home and do the same thing. I wasn't allowed to be around anybody. I had to stay away from everybody
So
because
what
of how
they do at
radioactive
home?
I
They
was.
just left you in a room?
Yeah, left me in the room and left food outside my door. It was like being in prison.
Well,
But
at least you had your video games? And anime?
Yeah, that's true. And anime, yeah, I watched a lot
Okay,
of
good.
anime.
At least
I
you have
did
that.
some writing. I wrote like an entire book just about like my cancer and stuff, which I've since lost because of an old computer getting smashed, but
Oh
it
no.
happens.
Yeah, I know the pain. So dang, you're isolated in your own home.
Hmm.
Whoa.
And then a year after that, I was diagnosed with my second cancer.
All right, the second cancer. Cancer, what the hell's wrong with you? What are you doing to Ari? All right, what is this one?
Pre-cervical cancer. So that one I had to have what they call a LEAP procedure, which is like a hot loop that they like cut chunks out of you with, but cauterize you at the same time.
Okay.
So, yeah, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't fun actually, but they got all of that one. But I do have to go back every year for both of those cancers for the rest of my life to make sure that stuff doesn't come back. Because
Wow.
if the second one comes back, I have to have a full hysterectomy. That's what I was told.
Hmm.
But usually recurrence rates are higher within the first year, but they still watch you because, yeah, things can happen. The body is weird.
Yeah. I mean, and this is totally separate from your other diagnosis, right? So it's like
Yeah.
its own
Yeah,
thing
the
on top of
cancers
what
are
you have.
yeah, the cancers were not related to the EDS or the POTS. Mast cell though, mast cell disease, I'm not 100% sure because certain types I think people get more tumors with it, but I'm not 100% sure with that. But the two
Wow.
having two unrelated cancers in itself rarely happens. It's like a 1% chance.
Hmm.
That's why I called my new YouTube channel the 1%. WON, like
Hmm.
win, but one
Okay.
kind of thing.
So
Because
looking
I
at first glance, you're
won,
not one of
kind of.
those cocky people who are like, I'm in the top 1% of society. It's totally different.
No,
It's way totally.
it's more
You're
like
not some
I'm in.
EC3 pro wrestler cocky character. All right, cool. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
no,
But yeah, that's that 1%. I'm used to hearing that. But wow, dang.
yeah, it's more like having doctors tell me I'm the 1% in the sense of like they've never seen a patient like me before because I've had two cancers, I have three rare diseases, and then I've got complications on top of those. And they're watching me for other rare things as well because I have more problems.
Wow.
So I don't want more diagnoses because I've got like the complication list is quite long, but it's also like a lot of the things they can't do anything for. Like the cancers, they cut you, they poison you, and they cut you, they poison you, and they burn you. That's what they do for
They
cancer.
burn you. Oh,
Yeah, radiation, because radiation burns.
yeah, that's right. Oh, wow.
So for that, they know what to do. But for like Ehlers-Danlos, there's like specific surgeries that can be done for like things like furikari, which is basically like herniation of your brain into your spinal canal. So they can fix that
Mm,
with a surgery, but that's like $200,000, and they do that in the States. They don't do that in Canada. And so there's that, and there's just like there's all of this stuff that is not fixable because there's not enough research, there's not enough awareness. Like people are talking about it, but I I think part of the problem is like bridging the gap between the sick and the healthy because a lot of sick people will only talk to sick people because they get it, man.
yeah, because you're
But
like in the
it's like,
trenches.
yeah, but if we don't reach out to be like almost in a way reach up to someone with health privilege and kind of like pull them down to our level and be like, look at it. Like, look at what we're living with. Help us get the message out. You know, if we don't have those healthy people helping us do that, how is anything going to change? And how are we going to end ableism? Because ableism is huge, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh,
that's something I just like. I hate that. I don't hate people, but I hate ableism because it's a toxic thing within society that needs to change.
yeah, and I don't like any kind of prejudice, really. I'm
Mm-hmm.
against it, and even amongst a lot of my family and friends, a lot of people are accustomed to certain prejudices, all different kinds of things, and even like,
Mm-hmm.
um, you see society from, the biblical days even, they isolated lepers in a certain area just to be away from society so they don't have to look at and see them. And over time, without knowing, society is kind of like accepted and practiced that. It's like, no, I don't want to look at that. Even in um, the material world, I mean, you see like, everyone's like young, fit, healthy, la la la, you're not gonna grow old kind of thing. Like, uh, it's like people who are going through stuff that need help from other people and could use help from other people are already in this negative, kind of brushed under the rug type of setting in society and how people think and look at others. And it's almost like people don't have time to do that. And it looks like a stigma that needs to be broken because people have
It
gotten used to it,
definitely,
you know?
it definitely needs to be broken. Things definitely need to change with it. Like throughout history, people have been put in insane asylums for being sick or being locked in a cupboard or locked in a basement or chained to their bed. Like that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff is an actuality of stuff that has happened throughout history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even in
And
entertainment with like even the stories of the exorcism and all that stuff and all that.
yeah.
But in a way it's also kind of like an ignorant storytelling because it's like here's someone who's actually going through something, vomited and whatever, and oh we need to
Mhm.
change him and then just get the evil spirit out and then they'll be good. But at the same time they're practicing the visualization of someone going through some just physically, take the spiritual story, fantasy stuff, whatever you want to call it, out of it. But there's another human being that's imperfect or handicapped in some shape or form, and they're kind of like just shunned. It's like, okay, it's another reason why they are ugly or horrible, and they just can't have it there. It's like a bad thing, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a problem with that within society because people are just like viewing someone that's sick as like a reminder of mortality.
Mm,
And it's like that's scary. Yeah, we're all gonna die. That's kind of like a actuality of life. We all get to that point. It's
mm-hmm.
like what are you gonna do in between, being born and dying is kind of the important thing. Not focusing on, the end, obviously. But I've noticed, like for me, I've had a lot of people leave my life. Lots of people. So many people.
Yeah.
Because they can't cope with it or they don't want to hang out with me because there's a lot of things that they have to do to actually be able to like hang out with me in my quote unquote bubble of safety because I have a weak immune system. I don't have a lot of lymph nodes, which are something that are a part of your immune system and your immune response. Mine were taken out because of tumors. So, like,
Wow.
I'm missing a lot of the ones in my neck. So when I
Dang.
get sick, like those lymph nodes that would like swell up, they're not there because I don't have that response. So if I get sick for like a week to 2 months. I'm lucky if it's a week, but it's rarely ever does it last a week. Like I got sick from my niece sneezing in my face last year, and I they thought I had pneumonia
Wow.
because I got that bad. So
Wow.
like that was just from her common cold.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't have the immunity that most people do, so I don't have the privilege of being able to just like walk around without a mask on before the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
because I had to wear a mask to university while I was in university. If I go to conventions, I'll try to not wear a mask. But that's like not something I do all of the time, and I try not to get really close to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hand sanitizing all the time and all of that kind of stuff, or I hang out outside. And I also have problems with scented products. So it's like if people wanted to come over and hang out, they have to be 100% scent free. If I'm outside, that's a different story. There's air circulating out there. But if I'm in a closed, confined space, smells can be an issue.
Wow. Well, yo, if we ever hang out, I just rock my BO, so I'm good. But uh, dang, that's intense. Now, my brother-in-law has cystic fibrosis, and 2 years ago he had a successful lung transplant. But his nurse comes over here and takes care of his injections and this and that. And when we're around him, we just have to be. There's certain things he cannot eat and drink, and there's certain areas of temperature he can't be around, and all this stuff. And if any of us have like the cold, we have to like live somewhere else or be somewhere else. A few times, my niece, his daughter, she got sick, and then she had to stay with the grandmother and me, and it's all this kind of stuff that we're practicing, certain awareness of distance. And I wasn't used to that, but once you have to practice it, because it's family, right? And I actually now live with them until I get my own place when this whole thing is all good. Is that once you practice it, it's really not that bad. It's just an extra steps you have to take just to be considerate of another person. And at first it seems a little scary because you don't want to fuck up and kill someone or aggravate their lifestyle. But when you kind of get in the rhythm of doing extra things, it's actually not bad. And I'm actually used to it. Like, now when I'm around and all that, I'm doing these extra things to sanitize, clean, do this and that. And I've actually been, if someone's weird, I just practice social distancing or whatever, just make sure he's all right and all that. And granted, it's not as extensive as probably other people have to go through, maybe you either, but I'm just saying that it seems scary at first, and maybe that's why people may not be quick to be compassionate or try and do the effort. But from my experience, once you do try, and then you just go through the motions, it's not that bad. It becomes habitual, and then you could be around people, and then you could be around them. They don't have to be alone. So have you had enough support from friends and family during all this?
I'd say yes and no. Like some people just they don't see any of the stuff that I go through, so they'll see me on a good day and then just assume that it's fine. And then they'll do something like go have a cigarette and then come in the house, and it's like, okay, well, I'm like gonna have a reaction now, so I have to go away, and then I have to like shower and take a bunch of rescue meds, which are like prednisone, and which is an immunosuppressant drug, Arius, Benadryl, cetirizine, and then like an antacid. I have to like take all this stuff to like hopefully prevent having my throat close.
Oh, because he just came in and they had that smoke on him. Man, it's like, do you really gotta smoke, homie? Sure.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's the people I know. It's not everybody by any means, but it is some of them. They just don't see past their own face, I guess, or past their own existence. And it doesn't matter how many times I say something, I'm still not heard.
And that's from friends and family?
Yeah.
Aw.
I've had some good friends, like, and my boyfriend's really amazing because he's doing all of the stuff so that he can be around me. But
that's what's up. I like him.
I can't see him right now because of everything going on. But if I end up being able to, that would be awesome. But like, it's just, I don't know. It kind of, sometimes with some of the people that I have in my life, it just kind of feels like it's not really, that I'm not really a priority. because they'll come around when they're sick, and then I will get sick, and then I'll be sick for so long, and then it's like all they say is sorry, and it makes me kind of angry
It
because
makes me angry too. Sure.
it's not supportive, and it's not understanding, and it's like it's devaluing my experience, and I don't ever want to devalue anyone or their experience because everybody's experience is important, and no one is like above another person.
But then I'm guessing when you voice up the inconsiderate actions towards you, on purpose or not on purpose, you're the bad guy all of a sudden. Is it like that sometimes?
Yeah, yeah, it is like that sometimes, and it
Oh man.
sucks, but it's also like if I don't say anything, nothing's going to change. I think part of the reason is because I didn't used to say anything because, like I said, I was a people pleaser and I didn't want people to not like me. But at the
Hmm.
same time, it was like me not saying anything could result in me having anaphylactic shock, which is your
Yeah, yeah,
throat
yeah. You can't
closing.
afford. Oh no. Oh.
So, like, I had to start saying stuff, and then I'd have to wear masks to like family functions. And there was one Christmas, I spent it, I've been spending holidays on Twitch since I started on there because having having to go somewhere to like be with people, family, and then them bringing friends or whatever, and then their friends don't know, so they wear like a ton of perfume, and then it's like, well, I don't feel good now, I have to go home, and
Oh man.
it just turns into oh, you're being sensitive, and it's like, oh, I'm not though. Like, I have diseases that cause problems. Like, I get bone pain. My bones hurt from smelling scented products,
Wow.
and I can like collapse and not be able to walk. So that's an issue. Like,
Whoa.
my blood pressure goes crazy, facial swelling, etc., etc. Like, it's just something that I feel like there just needs to be more awareness for all of the things, all rare diseases. I would love to amplify every single one and put it in everybody's face.
Take this. Now you
Yeah,
understand.
just like look at it, like it's not a bad thing, and we all get sick at one point or another. If we don't get sick now, we will get sick when we're older. It's part of life. And denying it and treating people like me shitty, at the end of the day, it's going to be bad karma for those people.
And they have to live with that
So
event and answer for it.
they do.
But
Yeah.
they really
I
don't
don't.
need to if they just be compassionate. Because I don't
Hmm.
know, it doesn't seem like a difficult thing once you get used to it. And again, that's my opinion and experience. Because you're an amazing person. I wouldn't want to ruin anything. It's like, oh man,
Well, thank
I'm
you. I
sorry.
appreciate that. Oh, you don't need to be sorry. I don't, like I've said before, I've said it on my podcast. I don't view myself as like a victim or anything like
No,
that.
no, I'm not. I'm sorry for
I'm,
them
I'm I know, I
treating
know.
you.
I'm
Sorry.
just saying in
Okay,
general,
yeah.
like that was why, like, I didn't tell people I was sick. I didn't tell people I had cancer.
Oh.
Some close friends and family knew, and people started like trying to like make amends with me. I had people tell me that my life made them feel better about their life,
Hmm?
and I was just like, I don't think that's
I don't
something
know
you're
how to
supposed to
take
say to
that.
me. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you should say that to someone else, not the person. That's like, why did you just say that to me? That's like really uncool. And I did confront the people that said stuff to me that was hurtful. I was like, I didn't like it when you said this, and they denied saying the stuff. And it's like, but you said it because it's never left my
Hey,
head.
hey, remember in Harry Potter they say never insult a hypocrite.
Yeah, that's true.
So, just, I don't know, we gotta deal with it and let it go, I guess. I don't know, it's just weird. Hagrid said that to Harry with his bird. Prisoner of
Yeah,
Azkaban.
yeah, he did.
But,
But
wow.
that's like I didn't want pity. I never want pity. Like, if someone finds out I'm sick and then they start sending me messages where it's like all like pity, like on social media, it's like I don't respond to it because I don't need pity. I don't want pity.
It
Like,
doesn't
people
even,
didn't know I had cancer until five
yeah,
years or so after.
wow. You know, I don't think you even need pity right there, because when I talk to you and since I've known you and chatted with you, you just and even now telling all this, you sound like such a strong, confident, powerful individual just by what you're owning, your past, what you're dealing with, what you want to do in life, and that you're actually being creative and doing everything. You're going to college and meeting your goals. I don't think anyone should pity you. If anything, everyone should subscribe and support you. That way, like and follow. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
But you're legit like a warrior in my eyes, and I admire you big time. This is cool.
I
Like
appreciate
you are
that. Thank you
cool.
so much.
Like you've come through all this just because. If all right, listeners, if you ain't seen like Ari's like Instagram, she's like the most prettiest cosplayer ever. Like your smile is so bright. It's like it's easier to forget anything that you said that was horrible came back to you. You look like $1,000,000 and you can take on the world, and I believe you can.
Wow, thank you. That means a lot. That's very sweet of
Oh
you.
yeah, I ain't no pity you, but
Thank you. I don't like the pity, so I
nah, ain't
really
no pity
don't.
for you.
No,
But
no pity.
no, just massive love, sister, because you're awesome, man. Shoot, I just didn't know it was so much. You said before it was so much, but now I understand the whole gravitas. I mean, wait, unless there's more. Is there more?
I have mental health stuff as well because of what I live with, but
Okay.
also because of what I've been through, like in life. So I have, I think it's like the first podcast that we did on my podcast
Mm-hmm.
was about my boyfriend, and then the second one was about me and my mental health. And I have depression, anxiety, and I have PTSD. So
Mm.
I don't sleep. I have insomnia. I've had insomnia for like 13 years,
I'm
maybe
getting better
more.
with my insomnia. I had insomnia since my you know father's passing and all that, and it comes in waves. Sometimes I'm really good at it, and sometimes not. But is yours constant?
Yeah, I usually sleep like maybe 4 hours a night, if that.
Oh man.
And I
Do,
have a lot of like nightmares and that sort of thing. So
do
it,
you, no,
yeah,
wait. Can
I have.
can you? Are you allowed to drink and stuff? Like you can like, Psh, I'm gonna have a shot of Jack and go to sleep. You can't do that, or
No, no, no. Hard
oh,
alcohol is really bad. Alcohol in general isn't the best for a lot of my conditions. I'll drink every now and then, but it's
sorry, stupid
usually like
question. It makes
one.
sense.
No, no, it's fine. It's like one or two, maybe three. But
Oh, okay.
I can't get drunk because that's not good for my heart, and it's obviously not advised. So,
Well, personally, I'm like against getting drunk because I want to remember my time. I don't want other people to remember my partying or whatever. But
exactly,
right,
exactly.
it's like shoot,
Yeah,
it's like you're missing an episode. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to wait for the filler. So can you drink wine?
Yeah, like I've a little, but not like a lot. It's kind of like if I have one, it's basically like a glass, but I don't, like I said, I don't drink a lot.
Okay, okay, cool.
It's not really a good thing.
Well, I'm not trying to
I do
promote drinking
use,
in general.
oh no, no,
It's just a
that's fine.
random question. Okay.
I
Huh.
don't, yeah, I don't really drink a lot. I mostly like I use cannabis quite a lot
And that
because that's
helps too?
supposed to
That
help me
helps pretty well?
sleep. Yeah.
You say supposed to. It doesn't always.
Well, it's supposed to help me sleep. It doesn't always. Sometimes I'll take it and I'll be like, I'm so baked and awake. Like,
Baked and awaked.
yeah.
Oh.
So it
That's a
works, but
really
it doesn't.
stoner title, Baked and Awaked.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't grammatically make sense. Uh,
It also
well,
helps like the depression and anxiety, and it like definitely keeps me more even keel.
hmm
And it does help my pain because I have a lot of pain and I cannot take most painkillers. So,
dang. Yeah, that's what's asking about that. Like even my brother-in-law, he can't have sushi because of his new lungs because of the whatever is in the raw
hmm.
meat. Do you have any diet constraints at
Oh,
all?
so many. So many.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mast cell activation is the thing that causes like scent problems, so like perfumes and that sort of stuff.
right,
It's
right.
not even just perfume. Like people associate scent with just perfume, but it's not just perfume. It's laundry soap, it's hand soap, it's lotions, it's
Mm,
air fresheners,
mm.
incense. It's everything. It's even natural smells. Like people will be like, "Oh, it's lavender. It's fine." It's like, "No, it's not."
So it's not necessarily synthetic stuff. It's also
No,
natural
it's
smells too.
yeah, it's everything. So like it's not just smells, it's food and also pharmaceuticals and vitamins and stuff that's inert. Like by inert I mean stuff that's not supposed to like cause harm.
Wow. What about
So
gluten?
I did have a bit of problem with gluten for a bit, but it's not like gluten intolerance, I don't think. Like bread is kind of a staple for me because
Hmm.
I lose a lot of weight. My weight fluctuates with my illnesses, and I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
weight loss cycle right now, so I lost 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And bread is kind of like the thing that helps me keep weight on. So I eat a lot of carbs, and then I eat a lot of protein. But I have to, if I'm in a cycle like I am now, I generally can't eat, and so I have to drink Boost and drink things like Hydrolyte, which are like these little tabs that you put in water and they dissolve, and they give you
Mm.
electrolytes without like all that Gatorade or Powerade sugar stuff in it.
Mm.
Yeah, so and then like protein powders and that sort of stuff. So it's basically like having a liquid diet because a lot of the time, well, not a lot of the time, I guess there's a fair amount of people with like EDS and mast cell that don't have a feeding tube,
Mm-hmm.
but it can get to that point where you won't be able to like eat and you need to like have a TPN or a nasogastro tube. So basically like a tube that goes up your nose or one that goes directly into your stomach.
Whoa.
And then you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just put formula in there and that's how you eat.
Dang.
So I'm not there. I would like to not get there
I would
personally,
like you to not get there either. Because that's like
but
the
it can
craziest of
happen.
crazy straws.
Yeah, it's I've known a couple of people that have ended up getting them. I've seen them on like social media and stuff, and they have them now.
Huh.
And I feel for them because like I love food, and I
Yeah, yeah,
think if
yeah.
I like not being able to eat is it like that's a privilege being able to eat. So I still have that privilege, and I know that's a privilege.
Good.
Even
I
being
mean,
able to drink like Boost and stuff, that's a privilege.
hey, sometimes Boost is really good. I've had some of that too, just for regular diet
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah, I've been
if that's all
drinking
you
a
have,
couple of those a day.
yeah. So what about acidic foods? Is that harmful to you too, or no?
Yeah, there's quite a list. Like if you ever Google like low histamine foods or high histamine foods, like tomatoes are really high histamine as an example. Most latex foods are high histamine, I think, which is like avocado, banana, and tomato,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, yeah. Tomatoes one.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like dietary restrictions that people can do. I have done like totally cut a whole bunch of stuff out of my diet and I felt really good, but I was so underweight. The doctors were like, you need to be eating more stuff than what you're eating. And so I had to like go back on, gradually add in high histamine food. But it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like Russian roulette, I guess, like in the sense of like, eating. Did I put this in my mouth today? Am I gonna have my mouth go itchy and numb? Like,
Ooh, dang.
so, but I don't want to like not eat and like eat little amounts of food, but the more you put in your histamine bucket, as people call it, which is basically like you can eat a certain amount of histamine and then finally your throat will just close.
Oh, dang.
So it's kind of like a learning when to like stop. or what not to eat, and like my mouth has been really itchy, and I was eating tomatoes for a while.
Oh.
So it's like I can't do that. Like I need to take a break from those, or like go back to like eating just like bare minimum stuff. And by bare minimums, like beans and like meat that doesn't have steroids in it. Like it's basically like stuff that isn't pre-made, nothing pre-made. No pre-made
So
nothing.
no
Like you have to make
Nutrisystem for you.
everything. No, you have to make everything from scratch. Like you can't do anything canned because of like BPA and all of that kind of stuff. Like I
Oh
have a problem with
wow.
BPA. I don't know if other people do, but I can't do it because of BPA and
Mm-hmm.
preservatives.
Right.
And preservatives are high in histamine. So it's like a
They
lot
are.
of
They're high in
fresh
a lot of
fruits,
stuff
fresh
too.
vegetables. Yes, they
They're high in
are.
like some people who just eat only fast food and certain foods that are pumped up with steroids and other stuff. It actually, enhances like other glands in them, and then they start developing weird shapes, and that's all they eat, and it's a little intense. So in a way,
Yeah,
you're not
that's
missing anything. You're not missing anything from McDonald's.
yeah, I've had McDonald's every now and then, but it's
Oh
not
really?
something yeah, but it's not something that I do all of the time. It's kind of like having a cheat day, but
Okay, so you can have little cheat days.
sometimes I can, and then other times I'm like, my face is swelling. Oh no! But
Oh man.
it's like I said, I could do everything right and be around no triggers at all, and then my face will start swelling and my throat will be itchy and whatever. And mast cell activation is actually really interesting because it's actually also it correlates with emotions. So if I get angry, my
Mm.
throat can close. If I cry, my throat can close. If I get too happy, if I'm laughing, my throat can close.
All right, no more jokes now. So
Well, no,
I'm
I
just kidding.
generally try to keep myself pretty even keel on the inside.
Okay, good.
So, but every now and then, like my boyfriend and I were laughing. We were talking about something, and I kept laughing, and we were video chatting, and I ended up showing him my stomach because it was beet red, because I was starting to react to laughing, not laughing. Oh my goodness.
No, no, when it turns red on your stomach, it's laughing. Really.
I guess so. It really is. Like
It's called
it
laughing.
gets, when I start to react, it's like it's hot and
Uh-huh.
it's red. Like I'll just turn beet red and then it's itchy. So, but that's like, I was having fun and my body was like, hey, fuck you. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, it's basically mast cells are actually part of your body's immune system. They're
Mm-hmm.
trying to like protect you from an allergen. I'm only actually allergic to cats. My body
Wow.
thinks I'm fucking allergic to everything.
Because the signals are getting all mixed up or something.
Yeah. So my
Mm.
body's like, I will protect you from your laughter. I will protect you from your anger. I will protect you from your sadness. Shutting down. It's like, what
So,
the fuck?
so from my
No.
experience, it sounds like you've got a over controlling Indian mother of your body, and shutting everything down with anything that gets out of
Yeah, my
control.
body, my body does shut everything down. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna let you do anything. So,
Ayo. That's crazy. Because I do know that our emotions at heightened states release chemicals, toxins,
hmm
and endorphins, and all that stuff. And it sounds like that's a trigger for what's going on with your muscles and your body.
it is. Interesting thing though. I've done a whole bunch of different kinds of therapy. So not just talk therapy. I've done somatic experience, which is where you find an emotion within your body, you
Mm-hmm.
feel it, you feel the pain of it wherever it is in your body, and then you change it into something better. And it's how you actually like
Wow.
release it from your body. So I did that when I was living in BC with my ex-husband
Uh-huh.
with this lady, and she was phenomenal. She was really expensive. Eventually couldn't afford to go anymore. So I was like, okay, fine. I moved over here, and now I have this therapist that does traditional Chinese therapy,
Mm-hmm.
somatic experiencing, and she is teaching me to try to stop my body from sending those signals.
Hmm.
So I black out regularly, which is a part of my heart condition, my mast cell condition, and my heart condition, which I actually didn't really talk about, which is called hyperadrenergic postural orthostatic tachycardia.
Wow, the cards keep stacking.
And that one causes me to have blood pressure that is 220 over 110.
Okay, so you did mention the blood pressure thing earlier, but this is why from this thing.
Yes,
Okay.
from that. So it causes, like, if I go into the ER and I'm having palpitations or anything, those machines go off like crazy. And then if someone is with me who's never seen me hooked up to a machine, they're like, oh my goodness, why is there not a doctor in here? And then the doctor will come in and they'll be like, oh my goodness, are you having chest pain? And it's like, well, yeah, a little. How are you still conscious? Like, these are stroke high numbers, right? Like,
Whoa.
it's a hypertensive crisis. If anyone ever has blood pressure over 180, go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. I'm not a doctor, but you need to go to the hospital.
Right, for
Because
sure.
they will give you meds to bring that down. So that heart problem, which is basically, I call it a heart problem to try to get people to like wrap their head around it because it's a big word, but it's actually part of your autonomic nervous system, which is a nervous system within your body that controls like your blood and stuff. So I have low blood volume. My blood volume is quite low, which means I'm more likely to go into shock. So I have to take 3 grams of salt a day as pills
Wow.
to boost my blood volume up. And that blood volume doesn't necessarily always go up. I am on heart meds to suppress my blood pressure and my tachycardia because my tachycardia is fast heart rate. My heart rate used to be 180, if not higher.
Oh, whoa.
And I wasn't like doing anything. My resting heart
It would
rate would
be
be
there just by
100.
sitting there, huh?
Yeah, I've had it go up really, really high, and then I just black out because it's so high.
Right.
So that's what I mean by like moving here was the best thing I did for myself because I found the cardiologist that saved my life in the sense of like stopping my blood pressure from going up and up and up and up and up and up and up.
Wow. Thank you, cardiologist.
Yeah, he's a really, really amazing doctor because without him I wouldn't have been diagnosed and I wouldn't be on the med that I'm on, which is like a med that they used to give to women in the 1950s when they were pregnant and had hypertension.
Oh,
So it's
damn.
yeah, it's an old one, but a good one because it works for me.
Hey, it's around for a reason, right? I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But I black out, and the blackouts are something that I can't control. And I almost blacked out with this doctor. I was on video call because she's not meeting patients in her office because of COVID.
Yeah, a lot of doctors I work at our office,
Yeah.
they do the same thing. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So she called me and we video called and she's teaching me tapping, which is a traditional Chinese medicine thing. And I'm like, I'm gonna black out. Like I'm gonna black out. Like I'm really freaking dizzy. And she's like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna hopefully interrupt the signal. And we did. I stopped myself from blacking out for the first time ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was super dope.
Was that the only time, or have you been able to do that again?
It was the only time. I haven't tried it on my own. I think having a doctor help me, like she was saying all of this stuff, like you know, like repeat after me. So I had to focus on what she was saying, but then also do the tapping part. And then I was like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe I did that because I've never had that happen. Because it's like I'll feel really, really tired and exhausted, and then I'll black out. And it doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. My body's like, low power mode, shut down. So
you just made yourself sound like a Nintendo Switch. It's like, whoa! We don't have
Yeah,
the
pretty
power.
much, you know.
Wow.
Already recharging now, you know, so
Toot 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 toot.
yeah.
Huh. Dang. But that sounds cool because it sounds like you're getting more options to combat certain situations.
I am. I'm 100% for being your own advocate. It's exhausting as shit, but it's like really important because I wouldn't have my diagnoses if I wasn't so like fix the problem, what's the problem, what is
Right,
wrong
right,
with
right.
me,
That's
like what's
good.
going on. That's how I got my diagnoses. And then having my body do stupid stuff around doctors and ending up with like rashes that lasted for like 6 months and stuff, and then being like, I don't know what this is. But that's a problem with a lot of rare diseases, is the symptoms are so broad and there's so many, and there's so
Mm.
many rare diseases that sometimes it's hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense. It's just like a lot. It's like sounds like a tornado of certain things going on all at once.
yeah, so it's
Huh.
important to like advocate for yourself, but then also do the work like on yourself to help yourself, like by going to therapy and like talking stuff out and doing like art therapy or whatever kind of therapy helps, like to give you coping skills to continue living, because it's so easy to like get trapped in your own brain and like just overthink things and then get negative about it and figure that nothing ever is going to change. But it's important to like get out of that and see past that and see past like yourself and your illness and not be ableistic with yourself, because a lot of that comes back to internal ableism. I
Mm.
can't I can't do that because of this. Sometimes, yeah, you can't do that because of that thing. Like, I can't go into Bed Bath and Beyond and take a deep breath in and be like, yes, I'm in here. Like, no, like,
Bed Bath and
that's a
Beyond right
no.
now sounds like hell right now. It's like I'm like you guys are evil. Get the hell away from me.
Well, like,
Bed Bath
there's
and Beyond.
scented products
Yeah,
in there,
yeah,
or
yeah.
like the Body Shop, or Lush, or any of those, like, really smelly stores. Like,
No, they
I
are
can't go
smelly.
in
It's too
those.
much. Even when I smell it, I don't even have any of what you got. But when I smell it, it gives me a headache. It's too much. It's
But
like
that's
this is
like,
an apricot.
that's the
It's like
thing. Like,
no, that's
no, it's
I
not. It's chemicals.
that's anything but an apricot. It's like Windex with gasoline like in the face. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
But
why they say.
it's like taking that moment and being like, okay, well, that's something I actually can't do. Like, I can't go and do that. But you know what I can do? I can go and do this other thing. I can go and create art and live stream it on Twitch.
Ah,
You know, and then I can interact with people and I can talk to people and I can meet people because I'm in my room and I'm in a safe bubble where people aren't going to be in covered in perfume being in here,
mm-hmm.
because no one with scented products is allowed in my room. I've had I had a friend that used to come over and they wanted to like hang out in my room, and I told her no, because she would always wash her hair with some smelly shampoo before she came over. And I was like, if you want to come
Uh,
in my room, no. Like, you have to like shower with scent-free stuff. You have to have clothes that don't have scents on them, so you'd have to keep clothes here so you can change into them when you get here, and then you could hang out in my room. But
honestly, it sounds like the coolest thing to hang out with you. Because first of all, no one has to get ready for shit. I don't have to worry what to wear. I'm just gonna wear whatever's there. If it's your girlfriend's dress, I put it on. It's fine. I'll look good with daisies and a little trip around my knees. I don't shave, but whatever. And then it's like it's interesting because I can see the picture they're painting of what happens a lot, because it sounds like a little kind of pet peeve nuisance with reason
oh,
for
it
you.
is.
And it sounds like people have this habit, because I do know a lot of see, a lot of my friends are female. I was a dance major, so and I know some of them are like, I can't even go to a grocery store unless I have my makeup on, da, 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 da. And some girls are like, I don't care, right? But everyone's different, right? But there's this thing. Even some guys have that stigma. Like even me. Like I shave my head and beard, and then when I look at my feet, I'm like, oh, I can't go to work with this. It's like there's this preconceived image that we kind of get used to kind of maintaining that comes along with certain products that we have to subscribe to and use to keep that image or whatever so we feel better, but then in a way that's stressful. But some people embrace it, or they're so used to it, they're so I don't want to make it sound like a bad thing because everyone's got their thing, right? But there's just some people who cannot do without it, and I'm thinking, for me, it's a stress relief. It's like, shoot, just go. All right, you don't gotta worry about shit. Just come as you are. Bathe tomorrow. It's like,
Yeah. It's definitely it can make like hanging out with new people a little interesting because having to explain it to everybody, it does get tiring. That's why I started talking about stuff on the podcast because then I
uh,
can just send someone the podcast and be like, if you want to hang out, just like be aware of all this. Like
right.
don't wear scented products or whatever, but like have it somewhere where I can just send someone a link instead of reiterating it because it can get tiresome because I do that all the time when I see doctors. I have to tell
Mm,
them. And it's not like I have to go to my doctor every time I see him and tell him everything else again, but it's
right,
just
right.
like I have seen a lot of new doctors, especially if I go to the ER. They're like, "Why are you here? What do you live with?" "Oh, we can't do anything for you." Like,
Oh,
which
man.
happens
Wow.
because a lot of the time they're like, "We don't know how to treat this. Like, you should talk to your specialist." It's like, "Yeah, but I'm having pain or something that I can't manage, and that's why I'm here."
Oh, wow. Do you have your tongue swell up?
Yeah, it got swollen after I had a bone marrow biopsy. It
Oh,
swelled into the size of a golf ball, and I couldn't eat for an entire month. It stayed like that for a month.
whoa. How did you consume food and sustenance?
Liquids. It was all ground up. Yeah, I tried eating at one point and I bit my tongue and then I was just like,
Ah,
nope, like I was frustrated because I wanted to eat and then it was also like, well, that just goes to show, yeah, I definitely can't because it's so big that I'm chewing it. So, but
wow.
that's also like mast cell disease is really screwed up because it's allergies that aren't actual allergies, which confuses people because they're like, oh, well, then it's not real. And it's like, but it is, because your body is like in a state of near anaphylaxis all the time. So it's important for people around someone that has mast cell activation syndrome to just realize that like they could be talking and fine one minute and then they need to go to the hospital the next, or they need to like lay down, or they need to like stop talking about whatever subject it is because it's causing a emotional response which is causing a reaction. Like it's just there needs to be a level of understanding. And I think it's like that with anyone that has illness. It's just having that understanding from someone who doesn't have illness or even
Mm,
does. Because I've had people with illnesses compare themselves to me. Oh boy, the comparisons. And it's just like, why are you doing that? Like, we are all equal in my mind. Because I've had people tell me that, oh, I have stuff going on in my life, but it's not as bad as you. And it's like,
so,
well, wait, 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 wait. Don't
mhm,
say that kind of stuff
mm,
because we all bring something to the table. We all have struggles. And just because one person has something a little more doesn't mean that yours is less value or less
right,
valued
right.
because it is the same value. Because struggle is struggle, no matter the type or size.
Mm-hmm. So true. So,
Hmm.
like, comparison is like exactly that when people hear what you're saying, like, well, I have this. When I hear that, I feel like they're kind of not listening. They're kind of, well, they are listening, but how they're computing it in their hearts and minds, it feels like they're just kind of sizing up. Like they're listening, but they're still putting themselves before your story. And I'm thinking that's like a little problem because, like I said, it feels like a lot of people are kind of like less compassionate sometimes because they can't think beyond themselves and go, oh, here's someone else. What's your story? It's like if there's this weird threat. It seems like that I've seen that they seem like, oh, someone's trying to top me or better me, even if it's like disease, like, oh, you got better disease than me, or I don't know. It's just like
It's
there's a weird
yes,
stigma there too of like this weird competition or like that some people think.
yeah, that's something that I don't like. That's also like a reason I didn't really like talking about stuff
Yeah,
because it was it's not supposed to be a competition. Like there is no competition. We're all sick, man. And like anyone that has chronic illness or invisible illness or anything like that, everybody's story matters. Like that is
exactly.
like my main point with everything because everybody matters when it comes to their illness. Everybody's story matters. Everybody has a different experience and we can all like share what we've been through to help each other and then connect and bring everybody together and build a world where people are understanding and open-minded and aren't comparing each other.
Mm. Dang, that's beautiful. That's the truth right there too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are things that wait, is that all you got? You got well, I know I know I say like is that all you got after everything we said. No, I didn't, that came out so wrong.
It's okay. It was
No, no,
funny.
but are you dealing with any other any other things on top of what you've got that you've shared?
Well, there's complications and stuff, but a lot of that stuff is like it's a fair amount of stuff to get into, and it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of big medical words and stuff, but it is it is what it is. Like a lot of it can be really like disheartening at times, but it's also like everything that I've been through from my mental health
Mm-hmm.
to like now has definitely shaped me into who I am. I never thought I would be where I am right now. Like I thought I would have graduated school like after high school and that sort of stuff, but I obviously didn't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But even being like with my ex-husband and that relationship and having that teach me what I don't want in a relationship, help me find
Mm.
out what I do want and who I do want in a partner, and that's my boyfriend right now.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
See, it's like you're accomplishing so much and you're doing a lot of good and as far as just being a good human being. And I really appreciate you on your podcast and mine just opening up, sharing your story because then other people can uh, maybe wake up to this like or realize what other people are going through and what exists around us, you know. And so my next question is pretty much what can everyone do to help break the stigma and help your situation, people who are going through such medical complications in life? What can we do?
I think the main thing is to not shut people down when they start talking about illness, because something I've noticed, especially in my life when I do talk to people, is they get this like glazed over look, like they've checked out. It's almost like they're scrolling on Instagram in their head or something. They're just not there. They're not in the moment. They're not in the conversation. I would
Mm.
definitely say don't resort to pity because at least for me, like I said, I hate pity and I don't necessarily think that people like it. Maybe they do, but having like an ear to listen and like actually listen and actually hear someone, like actively listening, is really important because sometimes you go through stuff with chronic illness and you feel like you can't talk to anyone that's healthy about it because it's so heavy and it's so messed up. Like I've had stuff happen to me in hospitals that I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I wanted to talk to someone and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it.
Wow.
So having someone that you can like talk to about those things with and not feel judged or not feel like ashamed for being sick. And then never stop inviting someone to a party or to a get together, even if they can't go because they're sick. Just having that like that invite, that extension of like, hey, I wanted to offer this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because people stopped inviting me to things. And then they stopped talking to me. And then it just hurts. And then that's why I started looking into the chronic illness community to find friends, because it was like healthy people are treating me different. So yes, you do need to treat people with illness a little different in the regards of being understanding of what they're living with. But that doesn't mean like stop talking to them or stop inviting them to things. Still treat them like your friend. Still be there for them.
Yeah.
Like that stuff shouldn't change, you know? So I think that would be like a big thing. And then definitely I would recommend like sharing some of the stuff I'm talking about if people are up for that. There's no pressure to do that, but I would definitely like to get my message out there and encourage other people with illness to talk about what they're going through, and also to share it, because if we keep it all to ourselves, nothing's ever going to change. I did a Twitch live stream when I had massive head pain, and it wasn't as bad as it gets, but I did get head pain, and it's like in the middle of my brain, and it really hurts.
Oh man.
It's not a migraine because I don't know what it is. It definitely does not feel like a migraine because of where it is. And that pain gets so bad that I'll black out sometimes. And maybe it is. Maybe it's just a migraine. That would be great. But none of my migraine meds work for it. So
Dang.
But when that stuff happens, I usually just shut myself away. And my boyfriend told me to like, maybe I should show my community. And so I did. To be like, this is part of what I live with. And I'm not going to shut myself away when I'm feeling like crap. You can tell I'm in pain in that video. And I downloaded it to keep it as like a reminder. And then I have it, and I had to end that stream early because I was in too much pain, but I wanted to show people, and I think that's important. That's what I mean by like, I'm going to get in people's faces about illness. I'm not going to be quiet about it. I did take a bunch of years off from doing stuff in the chronic illness community because of my divorce, but I'm coming back even harder and like stronger this time, in the sense of like I'm going to keep going until I get points across, because there's a lot of things that need to change, not just with perception of people like me, but there needs to be more resources, because there's not a lot, at least where I am, and that needs to change.
Dang, that's what's up. That has to change. And sure, I'm gonna help you. You let me know what you want. Spread the story, whatever. You coming on this episode podcast of mine is, I hope it helps. You know, I want your voice and story to get out there, and we could probably hopefully bring awareness and bring about change. If there's anything you want me to do for you on my end, shoot, let me know. I got you.
That's super awesome, Kojay.
And I hope
Thank
more
you so
people
much.
do that. Yeah. Because you're so amazing. When you first replied to me on Twitch, I was like, oh, you look like this awesome celebrity gamer, and I was like, she's so cool. I love this game. I'm gonna play Monster Hunter again. Blah blah, and all this stuff. And Ni no Kuni. Oh, that was dope. Did you finish that?
I didn't actually still finish it.
No, that's good, because I was afraid I missed it. So, okay, that's good, that's good.
I have to like level up my kingdom and stuff, and I got so frustrated because I was like, I need more coffers, so I have to go do more of those like little battles with the chibis.
I saw that when you were complaining about I gotta do the coffers.
Those were terrible. I did so bad in those. I'm like, I'm not winning. I'm just dying. I don't get this game. I'm like, why are there so many different game modes? But it's cute. I really like that one.
Yeah, Nina Kuni is
I like,
beautiful.
yeah, that one was good. And Dragon Quest was a lot of fun as well. I really like that one. I platinumed that one.
Eee.
That was
That's
a
what's
long
up.
game.
Oh yeah, but Dragon Quest is so great. It's like, oh, it's beautiful. The lore, the
Yeah.
art, the energy. It's like, dang. Oh.
Yeah, I like games. Games are definitely like I think actually something else I would say to tell people, like especially people that are living with illness, is
Mm-hmm.
find a hobby. Like if you don't have one, find one.
Mm.
Because being stuck in bed for months can suck. I was stuck in bed for an entire year and it sucked. Like I couldn't do anything. I watched tons of anime. I couldn't even play games. All I did was watch anime for an entire year.
Wow.
Like I was so sick and I didn't have friends. I had one person that I was talking to where I lived because I moved out there for my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
And this one friend and I weren't very close at the time. We're really close now, but like we weren't close then and it was isolating. So the only thing that I could do for myself was watch anime and get lost in like all of these fantastical stories and stuff like that, and that really really helped. And reading and that sort of thing for me. And then I found my passion for writing again. And
Nice.
yeah, I'm writing a book.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know you're definitely right because you said so earlier because you wrote another book that was lost by the computer crash or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
so what does you like to write? What is this book? Is it autobiography? Is it fantasy? Or is it, what's up?
It's autobiography. So it's like the stuff that I live with and the stuff that I've been through, but kind of all put into a book. Like I wouldn't say I was super scatterbrained because I've written different books throughout my life. Like I did a
Mm-hmm.
fantasy one when I was a kid, and then I wrote one about mental health stuff because I tried to kill myself. And then
Hold up. Sorry, pause. Putting pedal to the metal.
which
Um,
which I talked about on my podcast.
yeah,
So
I didn't hear that one yet, but that sounds horrible. Like,
yeah,
do
it's
you
it's
want
not
to talk
something
about that?
I never really talked about it like on social media stuff before because I feared so much judgment. And
But
when I
there's
was
no
talking to my
judgment here because
boyfriend,
I'm part of the Snyder Cut movement and I am pro hashtag stop suicide. And
that's good.
I'm really huge on that because I don't know if you know in the Snyder Cut movement, but the director who stepped down from Justice League and his film got shot over, his daughter committed suicide. And since then, we have been raising awareness to get the film out, but also some of us have kind of stopped fighting for suicide prevention. I have not. Um, uh, my father, he drank himself to death on purpose, and I've
Hmm.
had other issues too. So this is something I want to make sure actually happens to stop suicide because mental health is so important, and as everything else is. But for me, this is a battle that I'm committing to, and um, so, why did you feel you need to commit suicide if you don't mind telling this story?
The first time I tried, I was 16,
Wow.
and yeah, and that was before I even knew I was sick and stuff.
Why?
It was a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's okay.
There was a relationship I was in, and it ended up dissolving because of me. And I was quite like I don't even know why. I ended up being engaged at a really young age. I ended up throwing the ring in the guy's face, and then I was just like that I'm done. Like I have never really been listened to or heard for the majority of my life, which is something I learned through a lot of therapy. And
Mm,
I was in a lot of physical pain that I didn't understand, that I couldn't express, that people told me I was exaggerating about, and I was done. And
now,
I don't
okay, sorry.
necessarily say how I tried because I don't want to
No,
like I
you
don't
don't have
want
to.
there
You
to
don't
be
have
like
to.
ideas and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
ever
No,
want
I
to give
agree. I
someone
agree.
ideas.
I
But
agree. Um,
yeah.
what matters is the emotion because now looking back, to yourself when you were in that position to make that decision. Um, you you couldn't really foresee how amazing a person you become today, and then
Well, thank you.
it's kind of no, it's true. It's like when people are in that moment, and I know because I've been there, is that there's this moment where you can't foresee a future happy self and day, but if you don't do that and you live a little bit longer, you do meet it. So what's the best thing to break that mold? Because some people, they go across that line, and uh it's crazy. I got the announcement that our Snarka movie, it's coming out. Oh, cool. Then 3 days later, one of my favorite female Japanese professional wrestlers, she's a performer, she took her life due to depression and
Mm-hmm.
cyberbullying, and then that just wrecked me. And it just
Mm-hmm.
it just showed me that we have so many battles to win, and it's like it's crazy when you're at that moment and you cannot foresee life getting better, and then you take that drastic decision. But if you don't, it seems like life always does get better. It's just hard to believe at that moment. What's the best way we think we can do to get that in our heads in case we come to that moment again?
Actions, thoughts, and actions, thoughts. What is it? Oh my goodness, I had it and then I lost it.
Sorry. Well, you said the first time. There was a
Thoughts,
second. Oh, okay, go on.
thoughts. There's a thing that I learned, and it was actually when I went to this abused women's group,
Mm-hmm.
and in it we talked about thoughts, actions, and there was another one, feelings.
Thoughts,
So
actions, feelings. Okay.
yes, so when you have a feeling, like negative feeling,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you bad thoughts, right? So action, what you do with your action is you do something that you enjoy doing. So, prime example, if I have a bad thought about anything, I'm like, I'm going to go do art. I'm going to go play a video game. I'm going to edit a video. I'm going to
Right.
make a podcast. I'm going to do something positive for myself, something that makes me feel good about myself. And then doing that action is going to change my feelings, which is going to change my thought process.
I like that.
So I use that, and that has helped me a lot because the last time I did something to myself, I
Mm-hmm.
needed stitches. And
Okay.
after that time, and seeing the look on my mama's face, I was like, I can't do this again.
Mm. Wow.
And that was 2 years ago in October. It'll be 2 years ago in October.
Wow.
And talking about that stuff is really hard for me because of the fear of judgment. And then the fact that I think something that kind of like, I guess, tipped my scale in the sense of me talking about it is the amount of cyberbullying and people killing themselves because of cyberbullying. And I'm 100% against cyberbullying. And that's why I will not allow that kind of bullshit in my chat in Twitch.
Good, good.
Like, if you come in, you bully me, you will get banned. And it has happened numerous times. And I just made more people mods because I don't want a toxic channel. There are huge streamers on Twitch. There are small streamers on Twitch that have toxic communities.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not want to attribute to that kind of mentality. I want to have a safe channel, a safe place for everyone. And I literally mean everyone. No racism, no politics. Like, everyone of every sexual orientation is welcome. Like, that is what the world should be, man. Like,
Hell yeah, hell yeah. No, I feel you on that 100%. Now, I get friends and I see people get heated conversations and then it grows into being toxic. Now,
mm-hmm.
I've, people in my life and even people online too, I get really angry at, and then um, I've made it like every now and then I have friends, we just talk shit. I actually, God bless my friends, I talk shit with them and I let all my venting out. I'm like, fuck this person, fuck that group, or blah blah blah. And then after that, I'm like, we should all just get along. It's like a passing feeling. But if I notice for me, since because I notice part of me is a little bit aggressive, right? So and I think that goes back to my father's passing and everything. So I vent to my friends a bit and everything there, just get it out, and then it's done. But at the same time, I'm actually trying to get better at not doing too much of that, because sometimes I notice that they kind of take my words and then they get it a little bit. It like spreads it. So this is a
Yeah.
recent thing I noticed. So I'm like, okay, maybe my venting is healthy for me, but it's actually hyping them up in their aggressive tactics too, or not tactics, I should say habits, and without knowing, right? And then they get pumped up because they love me. They're my homies and homegirls. But then it kind of adds to the aggression that actually shouldn't be fed. It should be softened. I already have a rule that I don't really fight people publicly on social media and in person,
I
right?
don't either.
I keep that no matter how much they may hurt me, offend me. I've been attacked. I've been racially attacked. All this and blah blah blah, blah everything, right? But
Mm.
I refuse to attack back in a certain manner because I just feel it adds to the pot. Because on social media, there is no you're not face to face with the person, so therefore there's no consequence. What I mean is that they can't get angry and physically harm you. They can't get
Mm.
hurt and you can't physically see the pain on their face, and to have your humanity Jiminy Cricket say, yo, that's wrong, you're going too far. There's no consequence like that. It's just constant words and all these thoughts, and words do have weight because there's thoughts and emotions tied to that that's igniting and triggering the person reading it, whatever feelings they're going, and it's just this unhealthy mess of communication that goes on top. So I think the best way, and I'm still learning, because like I said, I vent to my friends a little too much, where I think I'm kind of uh, adding fire to the flames that will be later on, and I don't want to do that anymore. I think that's too far.
Mm.
So even I have to practice that stuff, but I'm still making uh like I started this rule 2 years ago that I won't like fight people. I will converse with them and be polite to a degree, but I've come to parts where, like, okay, I remember I said to this one guy, he made a passing comment about me being like foreign or whatever, and I was like, all right, you've insulted me for last time, maybe we'll talk later. Or I just said that, and then that was
Mm.
it. Block, mute, whatever it is, and that's it. And I didn't insult them back, no matter what words they sent me. And it's hard, but it's kind of like, okay, the best way I could describe practicing not fighting back, especially when it's on social media, because really there is no need to fight. Like, what's going to happen? You guys gonna be friends, go see each other on Thanksgiving after this? It's like, no, you're still gonna like kind of be where you are. So when you practice like not engaging in the the hype tensed fire, that turns into
Mm.
cyber issues and cyber. It's kind of like you see a spider in the house, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill it. Oh, thank God it's dead. But you ended a life in a way. I know it's just a spider, but if you take the effort to go, okay, I'm gonna put a cup, put a card under it, it's going outside. Oh my God, it's real, and then run back in. You're like, oh, wow,
Mm.
that was a lot of work. But at the same time, the spider gets to live, you get to live, no one loses a life, and it's cool.
Mm.
And it's like it's a little effort to do the right thing over what's easier to do, the wrong thing. And I'm still learning that, and I'm totally against cyberbullying because um, a lot of times people go online. I go online all the time, like on my phone or
Me too.
whatever. Yeah, I think we all do, right?
Yep.
so, so I
It's a
think,
thing now.
right? It's so normal. Like before, I remember, oh, you met her at a dating site. Now it's like, oh, you should try a dating site. It's like, what?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
things
It's
change, right?
it's
So
so different.
so when people go online, we don't know what emotional condition they're in. Either they're lonely, stressed, or sad, and like, oh, I need something, or what the hell. And then
Yeah.
we don't know what the other person's going through. It's that age-old story. We don't know what people are going through. So we have to, I feel really have to practice better interactions and healthier communication. But it's hard because not many people are paying attention to this. I think they're just paying attention to like, I'm right, you're wrong, and then that snowballs into other stuff. That's just a theory I have, but
But
yeah.
I think the I'm right, you're wrong thing, like that mentality, I think is why there's so many arguments, right? Because
Mm.
people aren't seeing the other person's side. It's like I said to someone recently, this is a very adult conversation because we're disagreeing on the subject. Neither of us are yelling, and we're still talking. Like that is an adult
Yeah.
conversation,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
So
it's like,
you can disagree and you don't have to yell, but yeah, like I think I get ranty. I get really ranty on my channel, and more so because of COVID, because people like me are the ones dying.
yes.
And people saying that it's fake news really drives me the wrong way. And
No, I work
I
at a
feel like
hospital. It's not.
you work at
Uh,
a hospital is, huh? Sorry, you
no,
cut
no, no,
out.
no, no, no. Oh, yeah, yeah. I heard you guys. No, 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 no. I work at a medical office, so I'm aware
Oh,
of the actual situation that's going on, and it is very real and all that. I just think
it is.
some people in politics are spinning it whatever way they want. But yeah, go
It
on, go
comes
on.
down to like the people like me are the ones dying. Like I cannot leave the
Hmm.
house, and when I do, I have to wear a mask. Like I have to. If I don't, if I get COVID, I will die.
Hmm.
I know that. Like the common cold almost gave me fucking pneumonia, man. So
Hmm.
like it's and COVID is pneumonia. It's a form of pneumonia.
Hmm.
So I can't get that. I've been inoculated. I've had a vaccine against 23 different types of pneumonia, but that does not protect me against COVID.
Hmm.
So, like, it's just I get to a point, especially if someone comes in and starts going off about COVID, and then I'm just like, or it could happen like roommate the other day, and by the other day I mean like a week or two ago, we all had to get tested for COVID because someone at their work had it.
Mm.
And it's like that just made it even more real because that means it's almost walking through my door. So I've been staying in my room since March.
Wow.
And when H1N1 happened, I stayed inside for an entire fucking year. So when I listen to people, I'm gonna rant. When I listen to
Go
fucking
for it.
people talk about how they have to like stay inside for like a couple fucking months, it's like, shut the fuck up and do it. Stop acting like a spoiled little teenager that is basically rebelling against mommy and daddy and do what you're told because people like me are dying. And it's not just people that are in their 30s that have a low immunity. What about kids with low immunity? You think if they
Hmm.
get it, they're going to be fine? Are they
Oh.
even doing studies on that? Like, I don't know, but it's like that really makes me wonder. If you put a child in front of someone and be like, you're killing this kid, are they going to be the same little twerp bitching and yelling at people in stores for wearing a mask, bitching and yelling at people because they can? Like, it's just like, it makes me so angry because I don't want to die because of someone else's fucking ignorance. And ignorance isn't bliss. It's not.
Mm.
If it was, everyone would be ignorant.
Man. Oh,
So it just like it makes me
yeah.
really mad because that's something I end up going off about is like masks and how I was in a mask before the pandemic. I wear a mask usually in the winter around my own family because of the flu. So like it's just it's perception, it's perspective, and not everybody has it because of health privilege as one thing, and people saying things like, it's not real, or it's not that bad, or it's just like the flu. The fact is the borders are closed, man. Flights aren't going in and out of countries as much as they were before. It's
Hmm.
obviously serious if that kind of stuff is happening. Like, wake up. I know denial is great and fun to like wallow in, but the problem with that is it's gonna either hit you and it's gonna knock you on your ass, My cousin fucking has COVID. He got it in fucking July and he has post-COVID syndrome. Post-COVID syndrome means those symptoms may never go away.
Mm-hmm. People don't even know about that.
Exactly, because they're not reporting about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't
People
even
are.
find out that my cousin had it until
Mm-hmm.
like the other day. I think it was yesterday. My mom told me. And I was like on Twitch and I'm like, fuck man, my cousin was like, he's been sick since July. Like he got it and he's like still battling shit.
See, this is crazy because with like what's going on with media, either side, they're either downplaying it or they're overplaying it, but no one's really showing these true stories that need to be, addressed to uh, pretty much illustrate the fact that people just need to be courteous of each other and do their part until um, this could be solved with a vaccine and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like we just gotta do our part to help each other get through this.
Yeah,
It's very
exactly.
simple. It's
Like
very simple.
my friend who's a paramedic was telling me the stuff that she's seeing. Kid coming in, I guess, to like the ER and having blood clots pulled out of them and stuff. And then having a stroke, man, and dying like 25 because of
Yeah.
COVID.
There's this
20% less lung capacity.
oh man.
Like that's a healthy lung. So what does that do to someone that has weakened lungs? I have asthma on top of stuff, and asthma is not like my asthma is not terrible. I'm
Hmm.
managing it with my steroid medication, but like I don't. Some days I'm like a little wheezy and it's hard to breathe. I don't want to know what that. I don't want to know what that's like. Organ failure is another one. People are losing their hair, man.
Hmm.
Like there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about it, and then the one that set me off on a freaking rant on stream was COVID parties. Like,
What?
excuse me?
The heck is
Having
that?
parties. COVID. Okay, so students or
Okay.
whatever, younger people
Uh-huh.
going to a party to see who they can infect with COVID.
Shut up. This is real?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like I read so many articles in a day and then like I have to stop because I'm angry first off at what I'm seeing other people doing to other human beings because it's like a lack of respect for another human being and it's basically like saying I don't care who I kill. Like how
Wow.
narcissistic and psychotic is that?
Man, that's crazy. Because I have to be extra careful too. Because my brother-in-law, that's my
Yeah.
niece's, that's my little angel's dad. I don't
Yeah.
want to see him go. And snap, there's this lady. She works overnight crew at the building our office is in, and she's like in her mid 50s, and she's so sweet. She had a really good smile and laugh. Yeah, they're broken English. But we were able to communicate. And I remember last time I was walking down the stairs because everyone was just leaving, and it's like 4 person per elevator. Practice social distancing and all that stuff. Just to try, right? And she's all mopping the steel steps, and then I was walking down. She's like, "No, no, no, you'll slip." I was like, "Ah, don't worry. I got waiter shoes. They're slip resistant." And then I started dancing, doing a little cha cha cha, and then she was laughing, and it was like, it was cool. I was like, see you later. And yeah, she's kind of like one of those people that you don't know, but you run into, and then you have that connection, like, "Hey, how
Hmm.
you doing? Hey," and then all that stuff.
Yeah.
But she's really cool, and I'm bringing her up because last week she died from COVID, and I found that out recently, of course, and that's the closest
Shit.
person to me that I know of, and it's like you see how or you hear the news and all that stuff, like you were saying,
Yeah.
your family member, and now I know someone who already left, and also before her, I talk to everybody. I'm a social butterfly, especially when I'm off of work. Woohoo! I'm having a good time. So, no, I love my work, but it's still work. But when I was in the elevator, there was this other nurse, and You're just talking. I forgot. I always say, I was like, "What's up?" Right? Especially if they're female, because I'm like, "Hey, are we cool? Are you single?" Eventually you figure that out, because I'm still gotta find that wife situation. But anyways,
Yeah.
she told me, she's like, "Yeah, I'm glad to be at work." I was like, "For real?" And she's like, "Yeah, I had COVID." I was like, "Shut up, really? Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I recovered, but it was like I was running a freaking marathon and I wasn't even moving, like in her lungs and all that." She said it was like the worst thing ever, but she recovered, thankfully, and all that stuff. And so that was the first person I met who had it. But then, my little friendly overnight crew friend is now gone. So it's very real, and people don't realize it because they don't see it. Again, like what we were talking about, when people who are the ableism, you have the people who are just kind of put out of the image, or the not the spotlight, but they're not ever really, there's not a light shined on what people are going through, and it's just kind of like this little picture of perfect lifestyle that people are attracted to, and they feed that, and
Yeah.
that, because maybe that's a factor in it, I don't know, but the fact that it's so crazy and people don't see it on a massive level, or whatever reason, they disbelieve it, and then so much that when they have to do their part just to be courteous of others, it's like the most difficult thing ever, and I don't understand that.
I think it's because we live in the most narcissistic time ever, man. Like, people are
Mm.
so obsessed with themselves and getting, like, Insta famous or, like, YouTube famous or Twitch famous or whatever, that they're just like, or just famous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just blowing up somewhere and getting their big break. And it's like them stepping on whoever to get there. And it's like, whatever happened to people, like, picking each other up and building each other up and treating each other good, man?
Yeah, or even
Like,
if people are like, "Hey, I want to be first in line," it's like, sure, go for it. Just ask.
exactly.
It's like, I don't know.
Common courtesy, maybe?
Yeah, it's just like, that's what I want to do, more of these stories, and get this out there. Hopefully, it helps if people listen. They can maybe hopefully start to understand. And
That would be really awesome. Thank
I,
you. I really appreciate this.
hell yeah, hell yeah. But before I guess we should cut. I think we're at like Bollywood movie
2 hours.
length status.
Yeah.
So
You
I
might
just
need to do a two-parter.
nah, hell, I don't do that. This is, I was raised on Bollywood. We do this. So
Okay.
and if you're listening, God bless you. You're awesome. So uh, what last questions, and what is it you want to do with your art and your Twitch, for you and your viewers and everyone watching?
Well, I really like creating stuff because it's like really freeing and relaxing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't even know. It's like a very zen moment. Even though I get ranty, I want to have a safe place for people to like talk, but
Mm-hmm.
not be toxic to each other. Like,
Nice.
come hang out, you know. Sometimes there's dirty jokes, it's stuff. I am a
Hey,
mature content channel.
I talk the shit too sometimes. I'm all
So,
positive. I'm all about I'm all about intent, not necessarily content, as you probably noticed. But yeah, as long as your intent is good, that's good. So
but it's
what?
like somewhere that people can come and like I don't know, not feel like judged or anything. Like even I've had trolls come in and then say that my mods are bullying them, and it's like no, they're just asking you to not be the way that you're being. Because when you come into someone's channel and then you start bullying the streamer or you're trying to bully the stream, like you're spreading toxicity. And I don't need that in here. None of us need that. Like I wasn't really like a super popular person before, and I don't necessarily consider myself super popular now, but that's just the way that my brain works. So,
Mm, mm,
but Like
Okay.
it's like the being the popular kid that everybody wants to talk to. Like my DMs are not always full or anything like that. That's what I mean. Like it's not like
Mm.
people are always wanting to talk, and that's fine. But I want to have a place where if people do want to talk, they can talk. You know, I share information about chronic illness stuff. I'd like to have people with chronic illness in there. I'd like to have people without chronic illness in there. Every walk of life. An all-inclusive nutshell. So.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love coming to your channel. It's so fun. It's so liberating. See, what my routine was for a while, when you were playing Ni no Kuni and then Monster Hunter was, I would get my dinner, I'd watch your channel, enjoy it, and then by the time I'm done eating, I was like, dang, I want to play video games. All right, later, Ari. Thank you for having me. And then I do my video games. It was so good. It was so fun because it's so. There's a positive energy, and even your homeboys who were playing Monster Hunter, they were so nice. I was like, dang, I have some people to play Monster Hunter with already. Sheesh. So if you're listening to this, do support Ari, and on top of that, Ari, can you please tell all these beautiful people how to find you?
Well, I'm on a lot of social media. I'm on
Give it all.
TikTok.
Oh.
Okay, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Anchor.fm. Um, yeah,
I need to try Anchor
Redbubble.
FM. That's a podcast one, right? Because right now I'm exclusive
Yeah,
to YouTube.
there's Anchor FM. It uploads on like 6 different things. I think one of them's Spotify.
Oh snap! That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my boys was telling me to do Anchor. Shoot, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, you
So,
should totally do it up. You can get like monetization if you're in the States.
hey, okay,
Yeah,
nice, sweet. So,
get that
in
pay.
fact, hey, ching, ching, ching. So, I'm gonna list in the comments. I mean, in the description of this podcast, I want to put all the links to find you. And
Yeah.
is there any charities that you're pro that you want to promote, or is there any that would
Rare,
help or no?
rare disease ones. Rare disease are like the ones I would definitely promote and endorse because they are the ones that look into doing research for things. There is a foundation in the States for EDS, and there's one in Canada. I think the ILC Foundation is one.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
ILC. Okay, I'm making notes right here.
foundation. Yeah, I'm just gonna Google it to make sure I'm saying the right thing.
Okay, well, I could have you
Oh
email
yeah,
these to me.
that's not it. Never mind. ILC.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic, so
Oh, I'm dyslexic too. Hey.
it might be ILC and not L. It's the yeah. I'm dyslexic, so it's the L. Oh my goodness. Fuck you, mouth. Sorry, it's not working.
Oh, I totally feel you. It's comforting because I was like, I'm not the only one. Like
Yeah,
I
my
do
mouth
commentary for
barely
my own pro
works.
wrestling, and I flub my words so many times. It's hilarious. I just
That's
own it.
great.
It's great. It's
Well,
fun.
like it's great that you understand because like my mods in my channel they like translate for me because I'll just say like a word and then people are like, "What did she just say? She meant this." It's like,
Oh,
thank you guys, like because
I
my
am
brain
fluent
to
in
mouth
flippity
connection
flub.
is. Yeah, it's. I actually have never called it that. That's great. I'll probably forget that. I'll probably just say flub flub.
And you know what? You
Okay.
would probably be right because I just made that word up now. I don't know
That's
what I
pretty
said.
good.
Hey.
The ILC Foundation is what it's
ILC.
called.
Hey, you were right because that's
Yes.
what I wrote. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, good, because I thought I said it backwards.
Nah, you're wrong. Point.
But it is it's called it's a thing. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Words.
It's a thing. It's one of those
Not
things
getting
that
any
you guys
better.
are gonna do
That's the
to
one
help
in
other
Canada.
people. Okay.
Yes. And I think the other one is the EDS Society, the Ehlers-Danlos Society.
Mm.
And those two are ones for like EDS. I think the Ehlers-Danlos Society is the one that's in the United States. And then the ILC is in Canada. And I actually shaved my head for them
Nice.
before. Yeah, I've shaved my head a couple times. Well, more than a couple times. I've shaved my head, I think, a total of like 7 times. And a couple of times were for charity, and then all the other times I was just like, hair is too hot. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh
like, it's
yeah,
too
yeah.
warm. Ugh.
No, I have my mother's genes, so that means I have a receding hairline. I call it a cul-de-sac. So if my hair goes out, it's like, whoa, what happened to you?
Holy
It's like,
sack.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've
Seriously,
never heard it called that.
yeah, it's crazy. Like if I look up and a raindrop falls on one end, it'll fall down, loop around, and then pick up speed and shoot out the other side, right around like the cul-de-sac. It doesn't really happen like that.
That
That's
would
just my
make a
imagination.
really awesome, like, costume. You could put, like, little cars on your head.
Hey, or grow out all my hair, just except the cul-de-sac, and then move it up with gel, and then I could put drinks around and walk around, and then I'll just serve drinks without even holding a tray.
Or you could do, like, a little stadium in there. Have, like, little...
Oh, snap.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no. Okay,
I'm
okay.
creative, so
No, no,
I
no.
see
Yeah, I
things in
should I
my
should put the
head.
hair up like I'm a Centauri from Babylon 5. You have to Google that. And where the hair just comes out
I know
around.
what Babylon
You
5
do?
is.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, sister, what is up?
it's so
You are in the
funny.
house. Oh my
It's so
God, that's my
funny.
jam. That's the best thing in the world. Oh,
I
okay.
used to watch that with my sister. That's so funny.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
believe you said Google that. How old do you think I am?
I don't know, 12? It's like
No, I'm
I'm just
like
kidding.
34.
Oh, really? I thought you were like 28.
I'll be 35 in November. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Wow, well I'm 40 on the dot,
Yeah.
so there you go. But
Oh, there you
wow,
go. Okay.
Babylon 5, I totally lost my. Oh yeah, so I would put my head up like a Centauri, and then I would put like these little figures there, and then I'll put a little mini uh stereo and those Bluetooth ones, those speakers, and put it right there, and I'll just walk around and put my own concert. I just won't be able to
That's
look at it because
awesome.
I'm supporting it, so that sucks actually. So forget that. It's cool. I wear a mask everywhere I go. No, I'm just kidding. Everywhere it allows. My lucha mask. Anyways, so yeah, I shave my head on regular, so that's cool. My last girlfriend, she shaved her head and wore wigs. Well, cause she had very very curly hair. Like she just kept it short and just did the wig thing. And I had another girlfriend who was also she just shaved her head because it was just her style. And well, it was both their styles, but I thought it was beautiful too. There's a lot of people who look at bald women like, ugh, but I think it's cool. Maybe I blame the band Jeanne. I don't know. That's an old '90s R&B group. Two girls. They had short hair, and man, they were gorgeous. And I don't know. I never had a stigma with long hair and short hair and bald. So I don't know. Some
I
people
think
do.
I think a lot of it is associated with beauty because people
Mm.
are like, bald isn't beautiful and stuff. And I think that's why I think it was Dove came out with that campaign of bald is beautiful. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. But
I like that little disclaimer.
well, I feel like I don't ever want to get in trouble for saying something, so I always throw stuff in. Like if I talk about weed on stream, I'm like, use it if you're of age and if it's legal in your local area, and then I'll just keep talking about whatever.
Yeah, I have a like on when I stream and I curse, and then every now and then I go, okay, y'all know the Kojay rule about cursing, and I'll tell you, the Kojay rule of cursing is you have to be at least 21 years old and paying bills. If you're not 21 years old and not paying bills, if you're 21
And
and
no,
not paying bills, you have no reason to curse, so don't. And then
yeah,
that,
that's true.
that's how I
That's
roll.
true. That's very true.
So yeah, there we go. So yeah, on to how people find you and all that stuff. So what I want to do, I'll put links in the description. I'm not gonna post this right away. I want to edit it, make it all nice and stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So any other parting words you want to say?
I don't think so. I think I like took up a lot of your time.
No, 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 Adi. So no, seriously, I'm a director's cut person. I mean, this is uncensored, unfiltered. This is raw, and I'm just so thankful to have you on my show. To me, you're a big celebrity in my eyes. You're awesome. You're a hero. You're a fighter. You deserve no pity. I mean, no, shit. I don't mean like that. You deserve
No, that
compassion,
was great.
but you
Oh my
get no.
goodness, that would make a great clip right there. You
You
deserve no
deserve no
pity.
pity. You own your shit. You deserve people's compassion and understanding. That's what I'm saying. Oh, thank God you're laughing and helping me out because that was horrible. See, I'm horrible with my words sometimes.
I know, I didn't take offense at all. I just, like, you said it and then you were like, I could tell you didn't mean it offensive. Like, that's why you started
Yeah, I caught
saying what you
myself. I
said.
was like, oh snap, that's pretty funny. But hey, hey, I thank you because I'm on it with you because you don't want it, so you don't get it. But you will get
Thank you.
understanding, unlimited love and support from me. You got a homeboy for life with your boy Kojay right here. I don't know why I'm talking third person. That's a pro wrestling thing, but we're going with it. And
It's okay.
I want everyone to subscribe, like, follow you. They got to know more of you because what you do is beautiful. Who you are is amazing. You've come through so much. You've accomplished so much, and you're a fighter. And that's an inspiration to everyone hearing this. You're an inspiration to me.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, thank you. I was like, should I say you're welcome? No, that's a little too cocky. But yeah, I'm so happy you're here, and thanks for spending time talking to me. And
Happy to.
yeah. So on that note, I'm gonna play a song, just to have a beautiful outro. And all of you listening, please, please, treat each other with compassion and look up what other people are going through. Check out these foundations and listen to Ari's podcast now and forever. We're going to follow and see what's going on with you. And if you ever want to come back and want to talk about anything, we can talk about Babylon 5 or anything you want. Let me know. You're always welcome back here, and we'll just talk about whatever you want. I got you.
That was great. Babylon 5.
Who's your favorite character?
Yes. Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I don't even know.
No,
I
the
remember
fact that
the
you
show.
know
I
it
gotta
and like it is enough.
I gotta look it up because
It is a
my
gem.
brain is blanking. I'm also a little baked, so
Oh,
that's probably why.
Okay. All right, well,
Babylon 5.
hey,
Please
it's
don't
worth a
include
rewatch.
that.
For real?
The I'm baked part.
Okay, I'll
Anyways.
cut that out then.
No, it's fine. I don't care.
All right, cool. I don't either. So we're gonna leave it in there, raw. No, but seriously, thank you so much for coming on, Ari. And I got your back. Let me know whatever you need. I'll be there.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. And on
I
this
really
note,
appreciate that. Thank
you
you
want
for
to say
having
anything
me
to
on here.
people? Oh, thank you so much for coming. I haven't done this in a while, so this is my comeback podcast. So, is there anything else you want to say to the people as we say goodbye?
Thank you for your time and listening. Wear your mask, wash your hands, do your part. Please and thank you, so people like me don't die.
Yeah, no one die. All right. On that note, enjoy
And
some
other
music.
people.
Oh,
Healthy
yes.
people too, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No discrimination. I feel you. Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty free and unfiltered on stream, so I can't filter out any of that stuff. Like when I have word problems, I'm like, they just happen, like, or I'll just make random sound effects. And it's like, it just happens because
I do too.
I get
do
it in my
too.
head and I create something and then I'm like, beep, 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 boop, bop, or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot I was fucking streaming. Like, it just happens. So I would rather be myself than someone else. I said that on stream and this guy,
Ooh.
like, was like, oh, really? Like, then why are you a fake ginger?
What?
So I ended up pulling my wig off. I was like, if it's such a problem. And then I sat there with my bald head.
Wow, that's gangster.
And he's like, oh, am I supposed to feel sorry for you because you had cancer? I was like, no, I didn't say that. Like, you don't need to feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. I don't want your pity.
You get no pity.
So, but
Alright.
he progressively like got worse and got banned because it's like yeah, okay, I'm not a real ginger, so what? I wear wigs, and the whole thing started because he said that obviously I didn't want to just I was a liar or something because being myself was actually like I'm not actually being myself if I'm a fake ginger. And I was like, I wear wigs, and my community knows I wear wigs. I'm a cosplayer. If I didn't wear wigs, come on, like,
Mm-hmm.
like I wear wigs. So it was just one of those moments where I was like really
Oh, I just
thankful
thought
for
of a good
my
thing.
my community.
Hell yeah.
What?
No, I thought a good thing is like I wear wigs while you are wigging out.
While you were wigging out.
Yee.
That's funny.
Yee. Uh, no, I feel you. But yeah. But hey, you got a friend for life with me if it's cool with you. I'm
I
chill.
appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
really awesome. That's really sweet of you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you doing this. I believe in hope as well. I don't think that hope and hopelessness can live within the same person. I'll never be hopeless. Ever.
가진 게 꿈밖에 없었네 눈 뜨면 뿌연 아침밤 밤새 춤을 추며 노래해 그 끝이 어떤 악보들 우린 호기롭게 shout 던져봐 세상 갇혀 sound Don't wanna die but so much pain Too much crime 속 묻어지는 칼라 We were only 7 But we have you all 내 고백 결과 본 뒤에 이렇게 못 잡은 손끝에 Yeah, we get to heaven. 내게 눈을 감자. 우린 덤비 없어 anymore. We are together, bulletproof. Yeah, we have you. 누가 우리 와도 누가 남을 가도 걸어가. We are forever bulletproof. Yeah, we get to heaven. We are bulletproof 부정적인 시선에 맞서 우리는 했고 나쁜 기억도 많은 시련도 다 호기롭게 우리 막아냈지